Hi, I am Stephanie J. Block.
And I'm Mary Lee Fairbanks.
And you are listening to Season 4 of Stages Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and beyond the resume.
Join us as we talk to some of the greatest talents from theater, TV, film, and more. And then check out stagespodcast.net for past episodes, merch, and so much more. And love where you are now.
Oh my goodness. Hi, ladies. Congrats. Fourth season? Fourth
season.
I mean, I'm like, where have I been? My God.
And churning and burning.
Should I save the fact that I just watched you talk to Manly? And I'm like dying?
Guys, so this morning I cried again as hard as that. That's a whole different conversation. But I can't, what Mary Lee has given me. Okay, so Leslie is a prairie pal. Leslie loves the prairie as much as this is an underground society that I don't think we realize how many of us are out there. She's like a rock star, right? You would never peg her. Look, I'm nerdy. So cool. You go, oh, she loves the prairie.
No, I'm an inner preppy girl. I'm still Laura Ashley all the way. Come on.
Oh my God. But I'm telling you, when Dean and Allison showed up, I reverted back to an age that was just messy, crybaby. He's my crush. She's my nemesis. All of the plot lines went through me and I was transported to my youth. It was incredible.
You're going to meet Melissa Gilbert. It's happening.
It's happening.
Oh, it's happening.
Not
it's
only
happening.
me.
Is she coming?
Oh, to the 50th anniversary? I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. I would assume.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you follow Dean Butler on the Instas or Allison, but he's already out there at the site measuring and like remarking the road into Walnut Grove. Like they are recreating this situation in Simi Valley.
So Leslie,
Mama,
you won't be able to go though, will you? Can you go?
No,
you'll be.
And I would, trust me, I would be there, braids and all. I mean, half night forever and ever and ever.
Sass, style, and substance. I knew of Leslie's epic talents well before I had moved to New York City. There was a, in quotes, rumor ripple that had traveled thousands of miles after her incredible performance of Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl at Paper Mill Playhouse. This was back in 2001. She was the stuff of legends. She was what I wanted to be, the footsteps I wanted to follow. Since then, she has starred on Broadway in Hairspray, Legally Blonde, A Catered Affair, Sondheim on Sondheim, Elf, Something Rotten, Beetlejuice, and is currently creating ripples, nay, should I say waves, as the Lady of the Lake at the St. James Theater in the revival of Spamalot. This show is on every critic's pick and the best of the year lists. But what I love about Leslie is her ability to cut the crap and get straight to the heart of the matter. Too many times in this industry, whether you're meeting up with or catching up with friends and colleagues, it can easily be all about niceties and what are you doing now, rather than how are you doing now. Leslie is a soul that can embody both ambition, and I use that as a compliment, alongside understanding and sensitivity. And I think that shows in her work, her life, her home projects, her love of her husband and friends, and her little furry and feathered babies. Again, I say, a woman of sass, style, and substance. Please welcome Leslie Rodriguez Kritzer to Stages Podcast. Leslie Rodriguez Kritzer to stage, please. Leslie, can we have you to stage?
I'm already emotional. Stephanie, that was just so beautiful. Thank you. I'm like tearing up right now. That was just so nice. Thank you.
That's good. It's often our goal to get people to start crying on this podcast. That's
just right after that. Yeah, first bit.
Oh, well,
but it's true. You are so real. And whether, you're walking down 8th Avenue and you're crossing the street and you're in a rush, there's still like, even if the connection is 3 seconds, it's real. It's like the time of the 3 seconds is established and then we move on. But I find that to be I do. I find that to be
It is.
super, super rare in this. That doesn't mean people aren't kind or, everybody is a beautiful acquaintance or a colleague that you respect. But like that, being where your feet are, I find is very rare. And you are always where your feet are. That's a
Thank you.
beautiful thing to be.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, here's the thing too. We all know what it's like to be on and have to do the thing, right?
Right,
Like
right.
we know how to put those lashes on, go to an event, go to show up for work. We know how to do the thing. We know the dog and pony show. We know all of that because we're really good at it. And that's why we've been around so long. Um, but the real stuff I really love is the people. I
Yeah,
love us and how we know our kind of people that go, hey, how are you? It's like, oh, that's this and that, the real stuff, because
the
that's
real
the
stuff.
stuff that matters actually.
Yeah,
Our connections, and when we do shows or meet, we meet people and we're around for a long period of time, we get to know each other on another level. I love that about our business too, is that the people that you really wind up connecting with, you're connected with forever, even if you don't
right.
see each other for years. You're like, oh my God, Stephanie, like, how are
That's right.
you? And about each other's lives. And um, I love that. So thank you. I'm glad that I have that effect. That means a lot to me,
What
actually.
are some of the
Means a
shows
lot.
that you've done that you've stayed really close with a lot of the cast?
Well, the first one I'm thinking of was Godspell in 2000. We still have a chain. I
Oh,
mean,
you're kidding.
We had Nokia phones back then, not even texting. But someone, I think it was either Barrett Foer or LSA or Ramon, started a text chain 4 years ago. I don't even know. And it's like me, Shoshana Bean, our entire cast from 2000, Chad, like everybody will check in and be like, hey, happy birthday, someone, or congratulations, Shoshana. Or it was a point in our lives where we were just beginning. And
Mm,
I had just lived in the city for a year. So no matter if we're really, really close or not individually, we have this common bond of being in that show at the York Theater and some weird office space on 34th Street, which doesn't, that was like a second language center, but a theater. So we were like, we came together and bonded in a way that will be forever. And so we're connected. So I have that. Beetlejuice is a big one.
yeah,
I really, as when you go out of town with a show, you bond in a certain way, and then you bring it in if you're lucky to bring it in,
right.
which we were. A bunch of us are very close. And then little ones here and there, you're always, like I said, I don't see you for 3 years. I'm like, oh my God. And, yesterday that happened, a 5 napkin burger. I'm walking by going to, Red Poke or whatever. And I see a friend of mine that I did a show with, Babes in Arms at Goodspeed 10 years ago, wound up talking for 45 minutes. It's like no time passed. And
Right.
it was also what I love about living here, that that happens
Yeah.
easily on the street.
Right.
So it's
Right.
nice. Anyway, long answer, but those are a few.
Really quickly, were you born at St. Barnabas in Livingston, New Jersey?
I wasn't. I was
Oh,
born in, oh God, Beth Israel, downtown
okay.
in New York.
Okay.
My sister was born at St. Barnabas.
Okay, Vivi was born there, and when I saw that you were
Oh,
born that you were raised in Livingston, I was like, I wonder if she was born at St. Barnabas.
Mhm.
no,
That's
my sister was born there. Yeah, St. Barnabas.
Is your sister an actress too?
No,
No.
not at all. Totally different. She's more on the producing end of the place, but not an
Would you
actress.
come into
No.
the city a lot since you were raised in New Jersey?
Yes, because my family, my mom grew up, she came here from Puerto Rico and she grew up in the Bronx. So a lot of our family, as we were growing up, my dad's from Brooklyn, my mom's from the Bronx, we were always in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they worked in the city initially for many years. And then that changed. But yeah, we had family here forever. And then everyone sort of left after a while, dispersed. So not much in Brooklyn, but in the Bronx, we're always in the Bronx. Always, always, always. So we used to come through the Lincoln Tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was very different. Like Hell's Kitchen as a 6 year old was like, oh my God. And I remember seeing, like, it's weird. I remember us, walking through Times Square at one point, and Howard Johnson was still on the corner. I don't even know what's there now, but like really pictures. Like it was dark. Now, dark, if you think Times Square,
Mm,
it's so
yeah.
LED. It was dark then. It was a whole different, like the theater lights were the big thing, but there weren't that huge LED screen. So yeah, it's just crazy when I think about like coming in as a kid versus now. It's just so
Yeah.
different. But yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
You've
of
seen the
family.
city change. I can only imagine what your mom, who, if you feel comfortable speaking,
Of course.
um, she recently passed.
Yes, she
Yes.
did in May. Yes.
It was Alzheimer's that she was fighting.
Yeah, it was FTD dementia, which is frontotemporal. It's the same thing that Bruce Willis unfortunately was diagnosed with.
Ah,
So that's what she had. She was diagnosed, I don't know how many years ago now, maybe I want to say 9 years ago.
Was she young?
So yeah, she would have been 76 this year.
Wow.
that's young. That's still
Very
young.
young. So yeah, she passed in May. I am, as much as it's been difficult, it was a blessing in the sense that because it was a very long, terrible illness,
Yeah.
and it can last for longer. And I'm glad it didn't, in the sense of that, by that last year, it was pretty terrible. So I'm glad that she's at peace. And it was actually a very beautiful spiritual end. I was there for it
Yeah.
till the last breath. My sister and I. And then literally got in my car the next day and drove to Tech at the Kennedy Center. But I
Wow.
have to say, it was, timing is everything, right? Timing, you can't, it was just unbelievable how that happened. And people say, I was thinking, like, what do I do when it's happening? Like, I would think, like, what am I going to do when that day comes? And you just know exactly what to do. I was not afraid. It was peaceful. It was great. And then to walk into a rehearsal process was actually incredible, to be surrounded by love. And that's what she would want for me, you know?
Mm.
And yeah, I celebrate her every day. I celebrate her. I honor her every day.
Has she
And
come to
so,
you? Do you believe in that sort of woo-woo stuff? Has she made
oh, I
herself known
do.
to you? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do. I had some weird things right after she passed in the house where I felt like, like little things, lights flickering, like little things that I was like, oh, I can choose. Like, obviously, it's a choice if I believe this right now, but I'm going to believe this right now and I'm going to talk to her.
Hmm.
And now I just feel her all the time. That St. James was the last theater she saw me in a Broadway show in.
Mm.
Wow. Something
Yeah,
rotten? Something
something
rotten?
rotten. And
Yeah.
it was Sebastian's dressing room.
Oh,
I have a
wow.
picture of her because Catherine Brunel and I were sharing that dressing room. And it was the last time that she saw me in a show. And I have a picture of her and I in the corner. And so, like, especially like first preview, I sang that second act song. Ooh, I sang that second act song, and I was like, oh, she's here. She's here.
Wow.
She's here. And this is exactly where I belong. And, it's not even like, there's times actually during it's so weird, during, not bows, but like after we bow and we sing Bright Side,
Yeah.
I'll get choked up. Like happened 2 nights ago. I look out, and maybe it's because I feel her. I get like choked up for 2 seconds, but that's normal. It was just
Mhm.
May, but
It was just
it's like,
May.
it was just May. It's so weird that it was just May. And so I'm so glad that in a way, like, I'm free of that constant anxiety. I mean, literally the anxiety of being a caretaker and overseeing someone's life, it was always here. So I wasn't really always able to be present in the show. And I think in this show, I'm 100% present because I
Mhm.
know everything's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Next month is 22 years that my dad has passed. And it was very
22.
similar, 22. And I was there I was there with him the whole time. I was there the last 2 months of his life doing a lot of really hands-on caretaking. And I was there with him when he actually passed and
Yep.
holding his hand and talking to him and
Yep.
looking him right in the
Yep.
eyes. And we had these talks before he passed, that I'll always carry with me. But I have to say, I've read somewhere that you're not truly an adult until you've seen someone pass, and that it's a gift, and it truly is. Like, it was a gift for me. Like, I feel like it was a
Correct.
present, and some presents are harder to receive than others, but if you allow yourself
Hmm.
to truly receive the gift, it had a profound effect on me. But what I felt like, I literally, you could see the light leave the eyes. I
Yes.
watched the light
Yes.
go, and I was like,
100%.
"Oh my god, that's the light, that's the spark that's in all of us." I watched it leave. My theory on death is that you know, we're all just energy. That's all we are. And energy can't be destroyed. It just gets transformed into something new. And my feeling is when you pass, you return to the energy source, but pieces of your energy stay with
Mhm.
everyone, and in all the places that you loved. So
Yes.
I feel like even though my dad didn't ever meet my son, he actually knew him better than he ever could because he watched him through my eyes. He was in
Mm,
me while my son grew up. And so I feel like they're even become even more a part of you when they pass,
mhm.
more than they
And
can when
Mel,
they're here. Yeah.
is that your own understanding or have you adopted
No, that's just
that?
how I feel.
That's how you feel.
That's how
Yeah.
it's how I felt when I
See.
watched him go. I was like, I think I almost felt like I breathed in a piece of the light, and it's just going to
Oh,
live through me, and it will
Ye-
with, and it'll be in my son even.
And
sure.
it's so, and I don't have children. And so when I thought about the whole process of my mother bringing me into this world and me helping her leave this world with a
Mm,
sense of peace. My sister and I both don't have children. It like that bigger picture, that beautiful act, uh, and also the years that I spent with her, I really feel like I was meant to have that focus to take care of her. Um, and it taught me selflessness, forgiveness, so many things. It was a gift, even though she's like the suffering, it brought us closer. And then to be able to help her, leave this world knowing we were there. I mean, that's profound. I will never be the
wow.
same after that experience. I mean, it is a gift. And I do feel her. I feel her with me all the time. And I imagine her as the woman that she's always wanted to be.
Ah,
Um,
how
Now I
interesting.
think of her, I don't think of her, I think of her literally now. If I see her, I picture her as the woman that she loved being.
Yeah.
Um, and I even before me, and even before I came along, or my sister, and that's really cool. It's
Mm,
kind of like I never could see her that way before, and now that's how I only see her. So yeah,
I love
thank you for
that.
sharing that. It's beautiful,
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh.
We jumped
Beyond.
right in.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
who's got the time? We only have right now.
And we will be right back.
Another thing that I admire about you is that you also have a journalist sense about you, right? So you've got
Yeah,
like weekly write-ups that you do for Broadway.com, one of which is called The Weekly Grail. And then I followed you very closely. I'm going to pronounce your
yeah.
name incorrect, but
That's
you were
okay. Everyone
doing
does.
live Instagram with Glenn. Is that
You did
right?
it. You did it.
Glenn
Glad.
Maxwell and the whole Jeffrey Epstein mess. And when
Yeah,
Message.
I
she
Yes,
went
was
to court, you were there and like
I was
informing
there.
us all. Has that bug, that journalist bug, always been in you? Or was this particular trial something that you were like, I have to voice this. I have to share my opinion. I have to share what I see.
What happened was like, we're coming out of pandemic. When something interests me, I'm in, right? So like the first trial I ever went to, and it was only for a day, was the El Chapo trial, and that was in Brooklyn. And for those of you that don't know who that is, he's one of the most notorious and dangerous drug lords of all time, and this was his trial. And I was there for a day, and that's when I read a New York Times article that anybody can attend a trial. You have to know how to do it, but you can try to get in. There's just a process. You have to get there at like 4 in the morning. It's like a whole thing. So I went for one day, and I was like, this is the craziest, coolest process. And then I was like, I'm going to do this again. But at the time I was doing a show, it was impossible. So when this came around, I had to follow the Epstein case and him. And then when he was passed away in jail, and then the Ghislaine Maxwell whole trial started, I said, well, I have time. I'm unemployed. I'm just going to go and see what happens. And Omicron at the time was on the rise. So
Mm.
it was still like a precarious time. I mean, it really was. So then I went, and then I said, I'm so interested. I heard the opening arguments. I was like, I need to be here. I don't really know. It wasn't like planned. And then I said, I'm going to be here every day and I'm going to come and I'm going to treat it like a job. No one's paying me. Everybody else out here is, this is their job. And or there were other people from the public. So I didn't even know that I had it in me. It just became something that I just did. And then I became friends with all of the journalists and then law enforcement. And then I was a regular and I became like everybody else who was there, except I didn't have a publication to answer to, or any
Mm-hmm.
sort of news organization, which meant that I could say my personal opinions in any way I wanted to, whereas a lot of them can't, and that's the difference, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I started calling myself like a citizen journalist because it was really for the people to kind of understand, and I was fascinated by the process of it because it was incredible, and it was mostly like a all female trial, from the judges to prosecution to defense. Mostly, it was like women going after women and no men being held accountable because the elephant in the
Ah,
room, maybe he's not there. So
right.
the more I was there, the more I needed to be there, and then I was there till the last day when she was sentenced, and so now it's kind of like I don't know if anything could top that, but I'm writing a lot about it, so we'll see. Now that the show is opened, I've been writing like a piece about it. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm still. It became deeper than me just coming.
Right.
When you watch these survivors testify, and you see how young they were
Yeah.
and how they were groomed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It did. It felt
it,
like you were called to be there.
I
And
was.
then when you were selfishly, when you were unable to get on Instagram Live or give us the reports, you were like, where is she? When's the
I
next
know.
report? What?
And I learned so much. I became one of my closest friends is an appellate lawyer from DC. I met him who loves musical theater, but really is a big time lawyer. And he and I collaborated. He taught me about the system, how things work, terminology, got me access to documents and portals that only people that know real journalists know how to access. That's
Yeah.
how they get their
Wow.
information. Other lawyers, other writers. And so, really, what was the most fascinating was the people that I met.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
going back to people and what makes them tick, why do they do this? And why, some of the people are there because they are reporting and that's their job. But then other people were not there for that. They were there for their own personal reasons. Either they were survivors or they were
Mm,
writing a book or they're
mm,
shooting a documentary. So, yeah. And now it's sort of a thing. I wish I could do more, just the
mm-hmm.
journalistic side. So maybe this next chapter of my life, I will kind of get back into it.
In your
But,
personal opinion, do you think the sentencing was fair or not harsh enough?
I've been asked that question a lot, and I actually talked to my friend Andrew about this. I think, the prosecution, they're actually, when they're trained or go to school, law school, they're told to get, or they're in, government law, which is what they are. Um, they're told to go for the maximum sentence. That's the deal. You go for maximum, no matter what. And I think she got it. I forget how many years she got now. I think it's like at least 40, maybe 30 or 40. I think she did. I mean, she's going to live the rest of her life there. No question. I think she is paying the time and
Mm.
she's going to do the time that I think is appropriate because she could die in there. And that's, I mean, I don't wish that on her. I think, I can't, I say this like, I say this like with a lot of caution, but I see with her a young girl um, that really took many turns the wrong way and was, had a very abusive father, gotten with the wrong people, very wealthy, very, privileged, but really went down a dark path and did and took bad choices because she was in love with a man that was a psychopath. And I could see the side of her that I'm like, wow, this woman could have really done great things in her life, and
Yeah,
but that's the choice she made, and she
that's
will
right.
pay the price for that. But I see it, I go, wow, what a tragedy in itself. All the things she could have done with her life, and this is what she chose to do. She ruined so many lives. So that's what I think that's what's interesting me. Like, why do people choose to go down the path that they choose to go down to? down.
Which is an
So
actor brain, by the way.
Yeah.
That's an actor
correct.
brain.
Why
Yeah.
do we
Why are
make
you,
these
what's your
choices?
motivation? How did you get here? Why are you doing
Correct.
this? Rationalizing anything is such a powerful tool.
Mhm.
You really can convince yourself that this is not as bad. And I think maybe Glenn, that's exactly what happened to her too. Like again, not
Not
condoning
excusing
what
it,
she did, not
of
excusing what
course.
she did, but you get a little bit of abuse or however that comes in, and then you start
Yeah.
to condition, and then
Yeah.
you pretend that the future of these girls are brighter, and I mean, it's disgusting. And yet you can see the rationalization
Yeah.
every single time.
You can. Well, and money and power, prestige
Yep.
is so powerful. It is so
Yeah.
enticing. I mean, these girls were, most of them, not all, were from the other side of the tracks in Florida.
Yep.
They were enticed by this, I'm a beautiful woman with a beautiful British accent that is making
Tailored
them feel,
clothes. Yep.
yes, taken care of. Then we forget that we're watching 40, 50-year-old women on the stand. If they switch them out and put a 16, 17, 18-year-old
Yes.
girl there,
Yes.
your brain would think very differently. It's like I'm sitting there going, "Oh, these were kids. They're kids. I
Yeah.
don't care." We all
Yeah.
thought we knew it all at 17 and 18,
Right.
right? We're adults, but you're still a kid.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
and
but
those
yeah,
predators know exactly what they're looking for when they go to groom these young girls. They know exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for kids whose parents are struggling and probably aren't
Yeah.
together, and the
correct.
kids are on their own a bit. And, they're having a hard time with one or another thing in their life, and they zero right in on them, and they know exactly
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
groom them with little lies that get bigger
They
and
used to
bigger
go
and
to
bigger.
Interlaken. Interlaken. He had a lot of money he invested in Interlaken. Oh, you're talented. Oh, you're something special. The two of them would
Ugh.
go. They would groom them. Their parents would be on board. Their parents would be on board. Oh, look at these. They're gonna, invest in my child. Meanwhile, this is what happens.
Mm.
And so, it is. And the longer I sat there, which is what I'm writing about too, the more I was like, I could have been one of those girls
Oh,
easily.
Yep.
oh, yes.
Easily.
I mean, I don't want to claim it as my own, right? Everybody's journey, and this is horrific. But my mind goes to a moment in my life. I was living in Los Angeles, very insecure about the way I looked, blah, blah, blah. But I
Hmm.
got chosen by my voice to be in this new, like, hip hop pop group. Okay, let's just listen to my voice. So, first of all, you're like, what am I doing here? Because, you know, I'm giving you full musical theater,
That's
full
right.
voice, right?
Get it.
But I'm there and I'm with some like three or four other gals, and he wants to get it done to just four. So one of us is going to go, one of us is going to be cut in this meeting. We're now separated from our parents. We're brought into an office. We're given like terms and agreements where this gentleman was going to make 50% of what we earned literally for the rest of our lives. I mean, it at least seemed that way, right?
Woo.
When you're 15 and it goes like a 20-year contract, now you're looking at being 35, and this man, no matter what you do outside of the group or whatever, making 50%. And then they wanted to see us move individually, right? To see what sort of sexuality we could bring to the music.
Oh my
But,
God.
choreograph for us, right?
Yeah.
And they want to
Oh,
see you move. And my belly is screaming out, this feels wrong. I want to
Hmm.
go. But then
Yeah.
there's another voice going, but is this good to be out of my comfort level and to prove that, I don't have to be the clean cut American musical theater girl. Like he
and you haven't
sees
had enough
something
life
different.
experience to know
No,
whether or not to
no,
trust
no.
that little voice.
Correct.
Right.
And I walked out of that room and my mother's waiting. And thank God Rosemary saw something in my face that she knew wasn't me, and was like, what went on in there? And I said, well, really nothing, but I feel so like I was just so confused by the whole thing. And that
Yeah.
confusion could have gone either way. And it was my mother
Correct.
literally seeing me that confusion was not a good thing, was not a growing thing. It was a potentially dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And she pulled me out of it, and I was prickly and mad at her. But that was a moment in my life that could have gone either way that
Yeah.
quickly, right?
Yeah.
But that's that. That is perfectly said, where you had a mother that saw it. Some of these
Yeah.
Right.
girls had mothers that
Don't.
were like, ignore what you're feeling. You have a
Yeah.
shot
Right.
here. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
For their because of their own experiences when they were growing up. They know who to go after and when to go after
Yeah.
you. And it's and women need to talk about this stuff. So some young girl who's listening to this podcast,
Yes.
she's going to be faced with a similar situation, and she's going to
Yes.
have this little seed that goes, you know what? I'm going to trust because
Yeah,
I
your
heard
Right.
instincts are
Stephanie
right,
say that
listener.
she
Yeah.
trusted this.
That's right. She
We have
trusted
to
it.
trust ourselves. We have to.
Yep.
And we're
Yes.
taught, don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Right.
Right? Be polite. Don't be
That's
nice.
right.
Well,
And
you
it doesn't
don't have
matter
to
what
be
you
rude,
feel.
but you can be decisive.
Yeah, but
You
that
know
can
what
be
I mean?
considered rude, Stephanie, and you don't want to appear rude. Be rude, girls. You
Yeah.
know, you
Right.
trust you and apologize later if you're wrong.
Like you said, some woman might be listening to this right now, or I shouldn't even say women, anybody,
Right.
who
Yeah.
is targeted. And I will say, just like I'll wrap up with saying this, that one of the mothers did testify. And that was heartbreaking to watch a
Mm.
mother of one of these women be put on the stand and be so regretful that she
Mm.
didn't see the signs sooner
Yeah.
for her daughter. I mean, and this is, a woman who's now probably in her 70s, and the daughter's, I think, in 40 now or in her late 30s. And that was a very powerful day. It is tragic.
Yeah. It
You
is tragic.
feel like you failed as a mom, and this woman feels like she failed, and yet she did the best she could. She couldn't have, maybe she just didn't know.
When we suffer trauma, the damage doesn't end with us. It
No.
it
No,
is
it
transferred
doesn't.
to all the people who love us and care
It's
about
true.
us.
And on a bigger note, this is now like gearing it just toward a mental awareness or spiritual awareness through the day, because it's such a catch-22. You don't want to walk through the world fearful, right? You
Right.
want to be in the moment. You want to see the beauty of the day. But at the same time, we have to be the word that came to my head when you were speaking, Leslie, was vigilance. You've got to be
Mm-hmm.
vigilant. Your awareness has to be on, but that's exhausting. So how do we marry these ideas so that the life
Mm-hmm.
is full and yet safe,
Mm-hmm.
joyful and yet cautious, and vigilant and yet open-hearted? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
the answer to that.
Know thyself. Know your center. Know when you feel off kilter. Know when it doesn't feel right, and be fearless about knowing this isn't right for me.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
fear, it's awareness.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk Spamalot. You get a
All
call
right.
to go to the crazy center stage, Kennedy Center. You think that's going to be 10 days of rehearsal, 10 performances.
You've
Mama
been
is going
there.
to take her last bow, but you
It's-
do it. Was there chitter chatter, even in DC, about a transfer?
Yes, there was. I
Yes. So
mean,
right off the
there
bat.
was. Right on. I mean, not in rehearsal. In rehearsal, we were just having the time of our lives and the best gig ever with the best people ever. You're like in and out. Great.
Right.
Give me some
Right.
Watergate Hotel. I love DC. I love
Yeah.
working there. I am in. This is great. Once we got to DC and we opened and we're looking around at each other going, this is really good. Does anyone feel how good this is? And then, although I think Jeffrey always is trying to he always puts good people together and he's trying to do something with his shows there, right? All of our shows that we've done there, right? So, and then when it actually started to become real and we knew people were coming, as we do, oh, this person's coming from New York. Okay, okay. And then he like sort of sat us down as a group and said, there's a very good possibility. We don't know. I'm not promising anything, but this is where we're heading. And I've heard that before from, as we do.
Funny girl,
Um,
being one of them.
yeah. And like probably a number of shows you have worked on or I've worked on, and it doesn't happen, or it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was really cool. And then it sort of went away for a while, and they were like, we're all texting each other. Is it going to happen? It's not. And then we all started getting actual official offers. And it was, for me, my mom had passed in May. So it wasn't like it would have been normally for me, right? Where I'm like, oh my God, this could be so cool. I was just like, I'm so happy to be here. This is great. I'm no pressure, no, like, I wish. It was just sort of like, wow, this is all like icing on the cake for me after what I've been through. So I'm just like, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Like, I had gone through such a thing that it didn't hold as much weight as it would have if
Mm.
I hadn't gone through that.
Different
So,
perspective.
which was great for me. It was kind of like, I was like so Capricorn about it, which is my husband,
Mhm.
which is not me at all normally. So yeah, so I was like, okay. And then when it happened, I was like, holy shit, this is really, wow. This
Had
is
you wanted to play
okay.
the role before?
Stephanie, it was okay. You come to New York and you know there's certain parts you can play as a 5'2" person. Okay. That's just the way it is,
Yeah.
right? When I auditioned for oh my God, what's the Liza show you did?
Oh, Boy from
With
Oz.
when I auditioned for that, I said, there's no way in hell. Like, okay, fine, she's short, but there's no way in hell I'm gonna stand next to Hugh
Because Hugh
Jackman
is six
and look,
three.
this is this is not gonna happen. Like this,
Right.
it would look like a Saturday Night Live sketch. Like, let's be real. But or like tall girl parts, or like you're just like, that's not. So when I went to see the show 20 years ago and I watched Sada and she was amazing, I was like, oh, that's great. And that's not the kind of part I would ever play, because it's it's like
A
for this
pillar
statuesque
woman.
sort of person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, like, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't even think about it. So when they called me, I was like, what? I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, again, it was sort of, I just said yes, and
Mm.
I was thrilled, and I saw the cast and I didn't really think too hard about it. And then when I was in it, I was like, whoa, where have I been? I've never really, I didn't, this is like perfect.
Yeah, the
This is
comedy and the
perfect for me.
vocal where it
Yeah,
sits vocally, perfect. Yeah.
this is perfect for me. I didn't, I was like, how did I not think about this? But it's never really done. So why would I think about it? I mean, of course, I coached girls singing whatever happened to my part.
Yeah.
Even then, I was like, oh, this is a funny song, way out of context. It's weird, but like, never really thought about it. And then once I was in it, I was like, wow, this is the best, probably the best and closest thing to what I love doing the most that I've ever done.
But I think
Um,
20 years ago, we really did like do more typecasting. So if the original person was 5'8", blah, blah, then
Correct.
everybody there on in was that
Mm.
height and that
Mm.
similar look, blah, blah.
Tall,
And they do that much less now. Now it's
so
just
much
Make
much
it
less.
your
more
own.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I gotta
I mean,
say, Leslie, we're recording this on a Thursday. You did two shows yesterday. You sound
yeah,
remarkably vocal, like there's no
Uh-huh.
fatigue going on at all. So this
no,
has
and
got to just beautifully sit in where you sing comfortably.
I mean, it, I definitely made it harder, Stephanie.
No, Les, why'd
there's
you
some
do
serious
that?
options. There's
You
some
opt
serious, but
up?
it's, oh, it's not even just opting up. It's just expanding. I was like, can I try this? Can I try this? But not like I'm the girl that wants to do the splits every night and then regrets it 6 months into
Right,
the run and has
right.
to take a leave, because I've been vocally injured. I'm very open about it. I've been vocally injured before.
Me too.
So going into this, I was like, there's no shenanigans. If I choose to do something, I have to know that I can maintain it. By the way, it's not like Alphaba where you have like 12 million showstoppers. Okay. It's not that. But at my age, can I maintain doing that and really be consistent? And I've learned more about my voice now at 46, going into
Mm.
47, and how to maintain and what I can and can't do. And it's been really remarkable for me. And I have no problems. The only problem that I ever will have, knock on wood, is when I get sick. Then it's a
Yeah.
no-fly zone.
Well,
I can't, you know,
what do you do? Yeah.
no. But it's really, I mean, people come to the show, they're like, how are you doing that? I said, honestly, I'm like, it's not, some of it I feel like is fake singing. When you do certain things, you sing certain things, you're like, people think that's so hard, and it's actually
Yeah.
not hard because you know what to do to make it sound hard. You're stepping also into the shoes. I've never recreated a part that someone has done, and it's an iconic role, won awards for it, all those sort of things. And I just wanted to know that I could do it my own way and not hurt myself and just be comfortable. Yeah. So it's been amazing. And I will say, just to like go back to my mom passing, I don't think I've ever been able to sing this freely in
Mm.
years. And I think that when she passed and I was able to, the shoulders went down and I was able to let go of holding on so tight,
Mm.
my voice, I feel like it's just easier. It's just
Oh.
easier to enjoy it, to embrace it. I can't even explain it. I've said that to a lot of people, and I really think it's true.
You were there
Um,
for her last breath, which gave you more
that's
breath.
right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Correct. And I really feel that. So, so fun. I get to be so crazy. And Josh Rhodes has allowed me, I write new material all the time for the Camelot
You
section. I'm given
do.
free reign. Yeah, it's the entire Camelot section. I was allowed to add this whole talk section where I do different songs in it, this medley of songs. There, some of them are pop hits, some of them are rock hits or whatever. Like I'll do, yeah, it's hard to explain, but I basically created this little mini section that didn't exist really before. She did her own version of it, but I sort of expanded it, not to even be like, oh, I'm gonna top it, just because I found it funny. Any lounge
Yeah.
singer is hilarious. I'm
Yes.
wearing this ridiculous outfit, you know, nod to you and share, very similar to one of the outfits you wore, except I don't think I had a cutout. Thank God. I don't know how you do that. I don't have a cutout,
Not
but
anymore, Mama. No, no,
thank
no.
God.
It's a new day. It's a new age. It's a
Honey,
new day.
honey, no cutout, no cutouts in this, okay? But it's like, I'm like, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, I have to ante this up. This is just too good. I just got it. So, you know, I get to be, I get to do everything I love to do. And it's like, I don't know if I'll
And
ever
be
get a
you. You
part
get
with
to
this.
be
And totally
you.
me, totally
When
me.
you get to collaborate with people that are really of the mindset, best idea wins, which Josh Rhodes is like that. John Bell is like that. He's the
John
conductor, by the
Bell,
way.
and he was also nominated for a Helen Hayes. Congratulations, Stephanie, as well.
Congratulations to you, Leslie.
Congratulations. So nice. Um, John Bell yeah, he's like, when John Bell gives you a note, I take that note. I take
Yeah.
that note, John. He's like, maybe you want to think about this. And I was like, you got it. Like,
Yeah.
I trust him. Opening night, Eric Idle's on stage. All the principals get flowers. The director gets flowers. And I have a picture. I wish I had it here. Damn. But I'm looking at John and I'm seeing him in the pit. And I said, I'm wearing 5-inch heels, by the way, which are comfortable because they're platform. It's fine. I take my bouquet of flowers, and there's a gorgeous picture that a photographer happened to capture. And I leaned over to the pit and I gave him my flowers. And it's beautiful. He's reaching for them. He can't believe it. I'm doing it because he should get them
Yeah.
just like all of us, because
Yeah.
he is truly, there's no Spamalot without him.
Hmm.
Orchestra, I'm very connected with it because, my father's a musician, my husband's a musician, but really he is up there with one of the greatest musical directors I've ever worked with. And
I agree.
I love him as a human. I
I
just love
agree.
him too. So anyway, yeah,
Shout out
it's
to John Bell. And with the last name
come on,
Bell,
Jill.
you ended up in the right career. John Bell.
I've been really lucky this past couple of years, Beetlejuice, pandemic aside, but Beetlejuice and that were really wonderful. But this is like, I really kind of get to do my thing is the best. I feel ridiculously lucky,
I'm so pleased. I love that you're
Thank
getting
you.
so much love. I love that you're
Mm.
loving the whole experience because, again, as we in the very beginning of this conversation said, oh gosh, that's so rare. That's also so rare.
Yeah.
Where the process is joyful, the collaboration is joyful, it's being received with such joy, and then you actually enjoy doing it. That's
I love it.
super duper rare.
Yeah. And, I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, it's kind of, I always say, I'm like the leading lady's friend that comes in and I'm funny. I'm like, peace out. You sing 5 songs. I'm going to be over here. And it's
Not
kind
in
of
this
like,
show, Mama.
I'm the only woman, and all the boys who I call my brothers because that's how I feel about them. I don't have to compete with anybody. We're all like an ensemble. We all give each other the floor. They love me, I love them, and that's also rare because there's always like sometimes always one person that's kind of like taints it, maybe not all the time, not one person in this entire company.
Love.
And that trickles down, I will say, not only our producers and everybody at the St. James, but it trickles
Yep.
down from the top.
Yep.
And no matter how long we last, it's like just the best job.
Perspective is
Right.
everything.
And
You
gratitude.
go
Yeah.
through a hard time, you
Yeah.
lose your mom, and things fall into perspective. And and you
Yeah.
you have to remember to carry that with you. I mean, of course, there are days where we don't carry it, and then you just need someone to remind you, a little perspective, step out, zoom out.
Yeah.
With your mama's illness, cognitively, had it happened in the last 7 years, she may not have been able to be present. You may not have been able to share it. Now, spiritually, she sees everything,
Yes.
she feels
Yes.
everything. So if it does, Leslie, she's with you the entire step of the way.
The entire time.
And now it's time for the 5 questions.
Are you a desert, mountain, or beach person?
I'm saying currently desert.
Desert. Love it.
Currently.
Okay.
Okay. This is
Okay.
kind of funny because I picked it out before you came on and before our conversation. This book is called the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, and it just has all these weird random words that he's taken from other cultures and other things like that. And so I just love it. So I'm going to say a word and you two guess the meaning of the word.
Mhm.
The word is CISO. It comes from Welsh and it is a noun. CISO. What is
CISO.
CISO?
Person, place, or thing.
CISO is the entrance to a graveyard where you are to collect your thoughts and kind of center yourself before entering this sacred space.
Steph, that's very good.
CISO.
It's very close, closer than you've ever been.
Wow. Oh, I can't even see. So, okay.
Don't go practical. I've been practical with
it's
these
never
things.
practical.
It's never practical. It's more mystical and spiritual.
It's a mental state. Is it a deeper level of mental state one brings themselves into dealing with a situation? I don't
You
know.
guys are really, really close. Okay.
Okay.
It's derived from the word seesaw, which
That's
is
what I thought of, between life and death. That's what I freaking thought of. Okay,
it's an
keep going.
invention that can only be enjoyed by multiple people. So a seesaw is a solitary experience that you wish you could share with someone else.
Whoa.
Ah,
That's
okay.
a good one.
Wow.
That is a good one.
Isn't it a fun
That's
book?
incredible.
There have
Fun
been
book.
many sunsets in foreign countries where I'm by myself,
Right.
and the seesaw is, oh my God, I want to share this with.
Right.
And
Or
then
do you have
fill in
like
the
a
blank. Yeah.
delicious meal and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could have someone taste
You know
this.
who would
Oh
love
my
this?
God.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's
Isn't that
I
fun?
love that.
Okay.
I
Next.
love that.
Okay, lady, we
So-
walk
Great
into your
question.
closet. Is there one
boy.
garment or piece of jewelry that you will never get rid of because of the memories it holds?
Yes, my mom's aquamarine ring. My mom's aquamarine ring that she bought herself she bought that for herself. It's quite large. Like a cocktail ring. It's like a cocktail ring. And that I always wear every like opening, any special. It's like her one. And then the other one that I did have that she gave me, I passed along to my sister because we all have the same initials. So my mom, Leslie, Lauren, and Luz is my mom's name, but everyone called her Lucy. So yeah,
That's so
Aquamarine.
sweet.
Beautiful.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me one irrational fear that you have.
This is like dark, but like that I'm because I've had this dream before that I'm going to be attacked walking into my apartment
That's not that irrational, actually.
in a
Well,
building.
it is.
Like
Let's not validate that. It is
no,
completely irrational.
It's like
Percentages
it's to
would
the
show.
point where I'm always like, and even no matter where I live in the city now, but even when I lived any just that I'm going to get attacked, like I'm always on the, I have like spidey sense. So that's the first thing that came up because I've had dreams about it. But anyway,
Yeah.
One of my things
Okay.
is like, I can't sleep if my feet are out of the covers.
oh my God, yours
Totally
is
irrational.
so normal.
It's totally irrational, but I can't.
Yeah. What's
totally
coming out?
normal.
What's coming after your feet? I mean, who
The
cares?
stuff under the bed, dude. My feet
What?
cannot be out. They cannot be. They have to be covered.
I don't like to. Oh, this is a weird normal one. I don't like to be in a bathtub completely in the dark. I like think there's any darkness with a body of water,
Oh,
Yeah.
even if it's
Oh, no.
solo and I know that it's. I don't like it.
No, piranhas are
I'm with you on
absolutely
that.
in that water.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Piranhas
Something
or
in the
something. Yeah.
water in the dark's not my friend. I don't like
Not
it.
my
Nope.
thing. Not my thing.
Nope, not my thing.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
If you were a nail polish color, what would that color be, and what's the cheeky little name of that nail polish?
Oh my God. Like a cool tone red, like a bright cherry red.
Okay.
And it would be lollipop. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
Lollipop
Lollipop,
Leslie?
lollipop. Well, I don't know why I'm like lollipop chew. I don't know why I thought of a
Lollipop
lollipop
chew. Do you
chew.
bite
Like
your
what?
nails? It could taste
No, I
like
don't.
licorice, like
Like
Twizzlers
I
or
like,
Red Vines.
yeah. Like I like food, but also like candy, like lollipop chew. I don't know.
Guys,
Also, Dean
this
makes fun of me because anytime I even take a Ricola or any kind of, I never suck on it. I always literally bite like it's food and then slowly let it disintegrate. He makes fun of me every time. It's like, who are you? It's supposed to be slowly enjoyed, not go right into it.
go right in.
Oh
All
my
right, I
God.
It
adore
was so
you. I'm
great to meet you.
grateful for your time.
Thank you so much. And also congratulations, Mary Lee, on your shows, producing and all of that. That's so wonderful.
Oh,
So
thank you.
exciting. But I've heard so many good things and that the music is absolutely stunning. So
it
I'm
is.
very excited. Well, thank you for having me. This is
Oh.
wonderful.
Such a pleasure.
Coming up next, what struck a chord? But first, a word from our sponsors. My God, she was awesome.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That when you can
just
find
like
the
right
people,
into it.
right into it.
Right in.
This is what I'm saying. It's not niceties. It's not how's the weather.
Yeah.
It's not,
No.
she goes right in. How's Sebastian? What's Vivi doing? How you guys doing? I heard that this was happening in your life. Is there anything I can do to help? Like that's always at the foremost of interaction with Leslie. And I just honor that because it really is so many times. How you doing? I'm fine. And they're not even listening, right? We
Yeah,
are
yeah.
just trained to do all of the chit chat, nicety nicey stuff. And sometimes you just need to jump in.
I thought, what a lovely person. So nice to
Yeah.
meet her.
And again, we had a conversation with Seth Rudetsky about the previously known as the Actors Fund and now the Entertainment Community Fund. And Leslie was able to put her mama in a particular facility that gave care because of that community fund.
No
It
kidding.
really, it's amazing because they help ushers, they help front of house, back of house, family members that need help. Of course, there's paperwork that has to be done and all sorts of hoops to jump through, but the extent with which these charitable organizations help our community is really beautiful. It allowed her
Wow.
mom to stay in New Jersey. So I invite everybody to check out what
I'll
used
put
to
a
be the
link.
Actors Fund and is now,
Yeah,
the
I'll put a
community.
link.
One thing I wanted to chat to her about, but we got off on so many different directions, is she played Carol Burnett on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel,
She
or
did?
Maisel. Yes. Do you remember
Now
that
I have to go
episode?
back and find that
She
episode.
was unbelievable. And I wanted to say, have you been compared to Carol Burnett? Is she one of your idols? Because I mean, the look is uncanny, the mannerisms are sensational, and yet you still see Leslie in there, which I always think is the balance, like the magic trick, right? Where you're not seeing Carol Burnett, you're seeing Leslie, but oh my gosh, she was just marvelous in that. Marvelous.
Marvelous. I love
And I
that
wanted
show.
to chat with her. Oh, I do too. I do
That show
too.
is great.
Any period piece that does it right, like if you're going to give me a Mad Men and the sets are like that and the costumes are like that. Of course, I love The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or Maisel
Maisel.
because it's helmed by a woman. It's not about oppression and suppression of women like Mad Men. But oh yeah, drop me into a period piece that's well done. I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right, lady.
All right,
Well,
my
this was really
friend.
fun.
I love you. I love you.
Love you too. Stages podcast is produced by Stephanie J. Block and Mary Lee Fairbanks in association with iHeartRadio. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on social media or join the mailing list at stagespodcast.net, which is also where you will find Stages swag. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share and rate and review the show. It really helps us grow. Big thank you to Noah Kaiserman and Garrett Healy for our original music, and Allison Arns, who has nurtured this podcast from day one. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon.